Hello everyone. I hope I'm audible loud and clear. Hello everyone. Please respond me on the chat.
Yes, we can hear you properly.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you everyone. So now let's get started, folks. So in last week, I guess on Thursday, okay, we understand that what exactly the cloud is, right? So if you remember, folks, then I told you that what exactly the difference between your Ola and your personal car that we have seen. We understand the difference, and then we understand that what exactly the specific the cloud, what exactly the benefit of the cloud, why exactly we are in the cloud. So we understand a lot of benefits, okay, to the cloud. One request to all, okay, I can see there are some one plus on all. I request everyone to just rename yourself by your name or your first name and last name. That will help me to identify who exactly you are. I know you must have a good name, so please rename yourself. I can see there are few okay who has their name. So I just request before we start, please change your name. One plus CPH2487. Just rename yourself, please. This will help me a lot. Thank you for understanding. Okay, so now okay we understand that last week we understand that what exactly the cloud is, what exactly the difference between the on-premises and cloud, why exactly the cloud is a requirement. So we also understand capex turn into opex. It means what we don't need to invest any hardware on this product. So the AWS is a product. We also understand in last Thursday that what exactly the different type of certifications. So for an example, we understand that for example, we understand that everyone please mute. Sujit, can you please mute it?
Yes, you're
Okay, thank you. So last week we also understand about the AWS certifications, right? So we have seen these here. Okay, we have seen these different certifications. So we understand what exactly the foundational is, what exactly the foundational certification. So we have the cloud practitioner, we also have the AI practitioner, which is currently in the beta state. We also understand what exactly it cover, what exactly the syllabus. Then we also understand what exactly the associate level certifications. So in associate level, we have the AWS solution architecture, which is one of the famous and currently in booming. Everyone wants to go with the solution architecture. Now the reason is that because it's going to cover all the foundational service very deeply. So once you understand the solution architecture, then it is very easy for you to jump from any certification, or you can jump to any AWS technology. Then we also have a developer associate, we have a sysop administrator, we have a data engineer, and we also have a machine learning as well. And then we also have the professional, AWS security professional. So as I said you in the last Thursday that it's one of the toughest certifications. That's the AWS professional, where we have a two certification. One is the AWS solution architecture professional, and another one is AWS DevOps engineer professional. So we have these two things, okay, for the professional. And for the specialty, right? For the specialty, we also have the three things. That's the advanced networking specialty, machine learning specialty, and the AWS security specialty. Now here, you know, what exactly it is for. So this specialty, it means what you want some specializations. Okay, you want some specialization in AWS one of topic, then you can go with these specifically specialties for certifications. Obviously, to go through these specialty certifications, you need to have the prior knowledge. And you can see that here, if you want to go with the certification, then we at least have a 2 years of experience for the same. Because why? Because this is a product. We are into the product training. AWS is not any technology, it's a product, right? So to understand the product from the beginning, as I say that first you need to start your career in AWS either with the cloud practitioner, or you can directly start with the AWS solution architecture. So today, as I said that in last, so today we are going to understand that what exactly the syllabus of AWS solution architecture, what service we are going to cover, and if the AWS is alien for me, then how exactly we can start. So as you know that I'm going to start with the cloud practitioner. So whenever we start the syllabus, actually we cover everything, okay, all the basic thing. Even though we will start from the what exactly the cloud, what are the different type of clouds, what exactly the TCO. When I say the TCO, it means total cost of ownership. Because if you purchase some hardware, then you already know the what exactly the total cost of this specific hardware. But what about in the cloud? Obviously, for that there is a calculator, and it's called the total cost of ownerships. So I'm also going to cover these everything basics, and once we cover every basics from the cloud practitioner, then only we start the solution architecture associate. So in the architecture associate, okay, we will cover many things. So first of all, this is the exam guide. So I request all the members that please save this exam guides. You can bookmark it. Just wait a minute.
Here, can you please share this URL to WhatsApp link, sir?
Oh no, I don't have access of the WhatsApp. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I just need a 30-second, folks. I'm sorry about this.
Actually, my Bluetooth headphone went down. I just need 30 seconds to change the headphone. Okay, I hope I'm audible. I'm audible loud and clear, folks. I just changed my headphone.
Correct, sir.
Is it clear, right? Same
Yeah,
clarity. Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead, folks. So these are the guides. Okay, these are the exam guides. Okay, where it mention everything that how exactly they are going to how they can conduct the exams and everything. You can definitely refer it. So I'm going to tell you that, okay, what exactly we are going to cover in this AWS solution architectures. So the first, okay, we are going to cover, okay, is about the cloud part. Okay. So when I say cloud, it means what entire cloud practitioner, where we'll teach you that what exactly the cloud, types of cloud, different type of cloud, what is a hybrid cloud, what is the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, what is the software as a services, what exactly the private cloud platform is. So that we are going to explain everything. And as I say that how exactly we can cost, because in the cloud, it means CapEx turn into OpEx. It means what? There is a no direct cost. There is an indirect cost. How you can save the cost. So that we will discuss in the cloud. And once we cover everything, then we'll start about the AWS introductions. What exactly the AWS? Um, what exactly the uh, uh, why exactly it is called web services? What are the different categories that we have? All the introductions that we can give it, and then we'll start about the AWS infrastructure. Okay, so when I say the AWS infrastructure, it means what? So now let's say this is the my laptop. This is my laptop, and
Same, sir.
here
Sir, in AWS, they're in need of coding, any languages?
for architecture, AWS solution architecture, you don't require
Okay.
here. Okay, so AWS solution architecture, sysops administrations, then advanced networking, security, you don't require any coding language.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, and even though for the cloud practitioner also, you don't require any prerequisites, you can directly jump to that. Okay, makes sense? Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. So now here, as I said, we'll start with the cloud, then AWS infrastructures we are going to cover. Now, for example, it means what? For an example, on the specific laptop, this is my laptop. I purchase one domain, let's say mysongs.com. Now, I purchase this domain, mysongs.com, and here on this specific PC or laptop, I hosted the entire website. Okay, the hosted the entire website. So as a user, let's say you are logging through my phone or something. When you open mysongs.com and when you download some songs here, it means what? You're downloading the songs from the internet. That's nothing but a cloud, right? For you, as you are a user or consumer of mysongs.com, so for you it is in the cloud, but for me as in the owner of this mysongs.com, it is on the on-premises. So actually you communicate to my on-premises and then you can download the songs here. Even if the cloud, it means what? They here I need to maintain my hardware completely. Okay, so first I need to maintain my hardware, and obviously in case of these hardware crash, it means what? You are not able to access the mysongs.com. Now the same thing here, we are going to have many resources which available in the AWS. So AWS also has their on-premises machines, okay, where they manage everything. So they have a servers, racks, they have a availability zone, regions. So we are going to understand what exactly it is. After that, once we understand, we'll also understand what exactly the IAM, that's an identity and access management. Okay, where we'll understand you that where we'll give the information about what exactly the authentications, what exactly the authorizations. When I say authentication, it means what? Whether you have you have access to enter the room, and authorization, it means what kind of the permissions that you have. So where here we'll understand how exactly we can create user groups, policies, rules, many things that we are going to cover. So that's the first service about the IAM. So remember here, I'm just giving you the bullet points. So in our PDF, it mentioned in very informative. Okay, but today I'm just going to cover the some bullet points here. You will find detailed information in our syllabus as well. So once we understand the IAM, I'll also talk about the storage, how AWS manage the storage in a AWS. So we cover the storage part, that's in S3, that's in simple storage services, elastic block storage, and also elastic file storage. So these are the three type of storage where a customer use. S3, simple storage services, where you can store unlimited of data. there is no limit, because as you know that the last week we understand this is a pay as you go services. So whatever you consume, you just need to pay it. So it's this S3 like an endless ocean. You can upload 1 petabyte, 100 petabyte, 1 hexabyte. You can upload all the data and you just need to pay the charges only. Block storage is like our hard disk, and the file storage is nothing but our decentralized file servers. So you can also create the same in a AWS. So I'm going to talk on this. Then we'll also discuss about the virtualizations. Virtualization, it means what? The Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic Compute Cloud is a part of infrastructures as a services, where you can create the virtual machines like what is a Windows machine, Linux machines. Then you can also create Mac machine, Debian machines, different machines that you can create, and then you can deploy whatever you want. So this EC2 is just like your on-premises server, where you can use to store the data, where you use to install the applications, okay, create a web servers, create a website hosting, then also create some, for the application, everything, okay, everything that you can do it through these specific EC2 instances. Then once we understand what exactly the EC2, then we'll also understand the networking part. When I say the networking, it means what? That's the VPC, that's a virtual private cloud. So in the virtual private cloud, I'm going to tell you about how exactly you can create a network in AWS. As you can know that in the office organization, they have a production network, they have a quality analysis network, they have the developer network, they have a support network, test network. Obviously, we also need to create a different network in AWS. So how exactly you can create a network, so that we are going to discuss in these VPC, where we understand what exactly the VPC, then we also understand how exactly we can communicate with each other, how we can communicate from your on-premises to the AWS. So it's a completely networking topic that we are going to understand. That's the virtual private cloud. And let me tell you folks, this VPC is one of the most important topic of the AWS solution architecture. So here, this is a completely backbone. Okay, so you will also get many questions on these specific VPC topics. So it is very important topic for the solution architect. Once we complete these specific VPC, then we'll start our next topic, that is the databases. Okay, so in AWS, there are two type of database. One is a relational database and second one is non-relation database. It means what? The SQL and no SQL. So in SQL, we understand the relation database services, where we understand what exactly the MySQL, how exactly we can create it. So the databases, the RDS is a part of the platform as a service, where you don't need to manage any underlying hardware. So for an example, let's say if I come to you and say that, hey, I want one MySQL server. Now the first thing is that you need to arrange the hardware. Then second, you need to install the operating system. You need to update the operating system. You need to patch the operating system. Then you can install the application. You need to update the application. You need to patch the application. You, as you're managing the network, so it's also your duty to take a backup of your system. In case of DB server fail, then how exactly you can take your DB file backup. So these are what? These are all the administration tasks. And when I say in the platform as a service, you don't need to manage the underlying hardware. It means what? You don't need to manage these tasks, or you don't need to invest the time in these tasks. By creating hardware, installing operating system, application, that is everything is taken care by the AWS. And you have as a customer responsibility, it means what? As a customer responsibility is only the managing the applications. That's it. So for high availability, durabilities, right? Everything is taken care by the AWS only. And once we complete the database, so I'll also start with the DynamoDB, which is also part of NoSQL databases. So we will cover both the databases in the here in a solution architectures. Then we'll also see the monitoring services. Right? So when I say monitoring the services, it means what? In the monitoring services, you have the CloudWatch, CloudTrail, then X-rays. These are the different topic. Now you have a entire virtual networks, right? You have virtual machines, you have a databases, you have a networking. It means what? You also need the monitoring tool who can manage it. It means what? If your CPU utilization of your EC2 instance goes more than 100%, then obviously we need someone to help you or guide you that okay, these CPU this EC2 instance CPU utilization goes more than 100% or 70%. So in that case, the CloudWatch or this CloudTrail or some other services come to the picture. So we are going to cover these monitoring things in the architecture as well. And once we complete the monitoring, okay, we also start the automations as well. So automations in a AWS. So till now, whatever I discussed, that is IAM, storage, EBS, EC2, VPC, databases, everything you need to create the manually. But now let's say I want to create one click environment. If I click it on single, it should create everything. So that time the automations come to the pictures. So in automations, we are going to understand what exactly the cloud formation tool is. Now using some text file or templates, you can create the entire environment. As I said that just now in VPC, we also need to create a QA network. And when we say the QA network, it means what? We need a repeatability environment. It means continuously we need to create the environment again and again. So that time, obviously, we need something which deploy immediately. Or in case of DR, disaster recovery, we also need someone who can, we can just double click in and it get installed. So how you can create those automation in AWS, so that also I'm going to show with you. Then after the automations, I'll also explain you that what exactly the containers. Okay. Okay, so for example, there are some services like an ECS, EKS, ECR, Kubernetes, right? Dockers. So how exactly we can do that? Because in virtualizations, we have some limit. We have the environmental constraint. Because let's say you test everything on the QA network and you are ready to deploy your application. But in AWS, you found that, or in other, you found that these are the completely different environment. So in this case, right, you need applications or some packagers, right? Some packager which help you no matter what exactly your environment, your application will work definitely. So in that case, we have a containers, Docker, Kubernetes. So that I'm going to explain you in the container parts. And once we finish the container, we also have the serverless. Okay, when I say the serverless, it means what? Without managing any server, how exactly we can execute the code. For example, Python, Ruby, Java, right? Then Spring Boot. For now here, if you have those application and now if you want to execute that application, you need a compute service, you need some base. Okay, it's not like that you can directly run your machine on dead machine. You need to install the applications operating system and then you can execute it. But here in a serverless, you just need to provide some codes and it executed by the serverless services. Like for example, AWS Lambda is one of the serverless services. So how exactly we can create it, how we can manage it, that also we'll see. And then we'll also start with the edge location services, edge services. How exactly we can create the website, how we can purchase the website, how we can host the website. So, that's called the Route 53. So in Route 53, we are going to cover many things like an content delivery network, like an edge locations, how exactly you can create edge locations. Okay, what is the use case of it? How exactly we route the traffic, how we can block a specific country to access your website. So that everything we are going to cover in the edge services. And the last one, that is backup and DR. So obviously it is on the cloud, but still you need to have some backup and you need to have some disaster recovery as well. From where you need to ready with any situations. In case of disaster, obviously you must have a recovery. So how exactly you can recover? So that everything we will guide you in a backup and DR. And once we complete that, then we'll share some projects, right? I'll give you some projects. Then I'll also share you a couple of projects related to the AWS. Then also I'm going to conduct a couple of exams in between sessions. Some exams may be scheduled exams, some exam might be the surprise test. And at the end of the day, I'll also conduct some exams. Then apart from the projects, once we complete everything, we will also share you some documentations, okay, and we will also share you some dumps which help you to clear your exams. So these are okay syllabus that we are going to cover, okay, in a AWS solution architecture. Although okay, you can ask for the, so this is just a bullet point, there are more than that, but these are the main points that I'm going to cover here. Any question, folks? So we'll get the documentations from our team.
Hi, Amey.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hi.
no,
My
no.
name is Prashant. So
Okay.
I just want to understand. I have two questions. One is um, a person who has no experience in AWS. What are the prerequisites to join this class? Second question: what exams will be covered in this syllabus?
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the first answer first. So now let's say AWS is alien for you. When I say alien, it means what? You don't have any information. At the beginning of the session, I'd said that AWS is not a technology, it's a product. So I hope you use the Instagram. Okay, few years back, you started with the Instagram. Am I correct, Prashant? Are you on the Instagram?
Yes,
Okay, Prashant. So few years back, you don't have any knowledge about the Instagram. Am I correct? Am
true,
I right? But
true.
now you know each and everything
Yeah,
about the Instagram. You can create a reels, you can edit the videos, you can edit the some photos as well. And now if any changes happen in Instagram, you are easily adopt those changes because you already aware about the basics. Am I correct, Prashant?
yeah, yeah,
Now, how it happened? Because you invest the time on the Instagram. You
yeah.
spend some time on the Instagram. Now, same thing is in product. So here there is no prerequisites, but I need a commitment. That what commitment? That you make your hand dirty on a AWS product. Let's understand it's a product. So for the solution architect, there is a no prerequisites. So that's the
Okay.
reason AWS has these specific kind of the certifications. So let's say if you don't have any information about the AWS, so that you can learn this product from these certifications. And these are the specialized certification path. Second thing, okay, so as I said that we are going to also conduct the exams in between. So that is a completely real life exams where you will get the similar kind of the questions in your global examinations. Because why? Because here these are some global certifications which AWS conduct for you. Okay, this is no one is conducted on the AWS behalf. The AWS conduct you, and then once you clear it, then only you will get a certifications or a tag as a solution architect associate. Make sense, Prashant?
Yeah. So second question was, how many certification will you cover in this syllabus?
Only two.
What are
That's
those?
in cloud practitioner and solution architect.
Associate or
Associate.
okay, okay.
Cloud practitioner foundational and solution architect associate.
Okay.
Sir, but for me, I didn't I'm not belong from the IT departments now. My qualification, I did my BTech, but right now I'm working as a non-IT in sales department now. Is it good for me to go
Yes,
in?
obviously. So if you, as I say that, see, if you want to start understanding of the AWS, so that's the reason I'll say that you must need to start with the architecture level. Now, why? Because you can see that these are all the foundational services: creating user, storing the file, creating virtual machine, managing the network, managing the databases, monitoring, automation, what exactly it is. This is a completely AWS infrastructure of very foundational services, right? Where there is no prerequisites. Obviously, if you are completely non-technical, then obviously you need to take some additional steps. Let's suppose I'm a technical person and you're non-technical person, you both join the sessions. Now it's your duty to take some more steps. You need to ask some questions. Now what happened is that non-tech persons join the sessions, but for they don't ask the questions, right? For example, sometime trainer may use some jargon because they are used to it. Technical person may understand, but non-technical may not. So in that case, you need to ask the questions. But it's not like that. You are not non-technical person and you want to learn the AWS, you are perfectly fine. As I just said, I just gave the example of the Instagram, right? Where we are not a technical person, we are not a photographer, we don't know how to edit the photos and everything. But slowly we understand how, because we spend the time on the that specific product on the Instagram. The same thing here, the AWS is also the product. So Instagram is a categories of the social networking, where the AWS is in cloud everything. Make sense?
Yeah,
Sujit? Okay.
yeah.
Any question, folks? You have?
So any coding language is also covered.
No,
That is not required.
not required. So if you are,
Okay.
as I said, if you are go with the AWS, so if you go with the cloud practitioner, solution architecture, SysOps administration, advanced networking, security specialty. For this certification, you don't require any coding language. Java, Python, Ruby, .NET, okay, on Spring Boot and all, you don't require it. If you go with the developer associate, machine learning, data engineer, then yes, there might be a requirement, prerequisites for the some Java, Python and all. But for these certification, which just I highlighted, it's not required. Make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Any other question, folks, before we wind up?
How many hours is this course?
55 to 60 hours.
Okay.
That is my teaching time. Based on the question, it may go plus minus.
Sir, which type of exam you are conducting?
Sorry?
Which type of exams are you conducting?
So it's like similar to the AWS Solution Architects global exam.
Okay.
Hey, hi, sir.
Hey, hi, Sandeep.
Hello.
Hey, hi, Sandeep.
Actually, just as you told, elastic block storage is a hard disk. Like example, if I buy 1 TB elastic block storage, and I need to increase 1.5 TB, is it possible?
Yes. So
Uh,
this is a cloud. So whenever you want, you can upgrade it, and whenever you want, you can degrade it as well.
okay, okay,
That's the
okay.
reason it's very flexible. That's the reason it's a famous choice for the enterprise.
Okay, all the S3 and elastic file
Everything.
system also.
Yes, yes. So S3 is and say that it's an unlimited space where you can store unlimited of data. There is no limit.
Okay. What is the basic difference from these three, S3 and elastic block storage and elastic file system?
Okay. So elastic file server, okay, it's nothing but your on-premises centralized file server from where you have the centralized data server and you can access it like in the NAS, network attached storage, or the SAN, right? These things. EBS,
Okay.
as I said, that it's kind of your hard disk, right? Where you can install the operating system, you can install the applications, right? You can store the files. In EFS, obviously, you cannot store the, you cannot access, sorry, install the operating system or application. S3,
Okay.
you can consider that is the Google Drive. Google Drive, it means what? Where we can upload the files, we can share the files, we can share to specific person, we can give some permissions, right? Anyone can access S3. It's a 24, sorry, the Google Drive, it's a 24/7 available, but you cannot install any operating system and application on the Google Drive. And let's say if you want
Mhm.
to modify the file, then first you need to download it on your machine, modify it, and then again upload it. So same thing, S3 is an object-based storage. This is the EBS is a block level storage, and this is a file level storage.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay, Sandeep.
you.
Any other question, folks? You have in your
Sir,
mind?
how to connect to Spring Book to S3 bucket?
That is not discussed yet. First, you need to understand the S3, then you can understand it. It's not like that I
Okay.
can tell you in one shot. Okay, it
Yes.
takes some time because first you need to understand
What
S3,
is edge services?
which service? Age.
Edge service.
Yeah, age service, it means what? Here we are going to cover about the Route 53, right? Who is on the edge, I can say first layer of defense, web application firewall. Then for an example, CDN, content delivery network. So that service we are going to cover in the edge services. This is called a edge services. Who is on the edge location? I mean to say the first layer of defense. Got it?
Yes, sir. In backup recovery, backup DR.
Disaster recovery. How exactly we can create backup and disaster recovery for all the, how exactly we can create EC2, VPC, databases. How exactly we can do that? That I'm going to explain.
It's total backup and total recovery system.
Yes,
Backup in sense of S3 backup,
correct,
in sense of EBS storage backup,
correct. Snapshots, it called.
snapshots.
Correct.
Means take AMI automatically creates the backup like snapshot, and from that snapshot we can create
Yes, it's more than that. Correct,
another region we can
correct,
restore easy to.
correct, correct, Subhash.
Yes, sir.
So from where we have to start, are there AWS or DevOps or Linux?
I'm sorry, can you repeat for me, please?
From where we have to start, AWS or Linux or DevOps?
Architecture. It's not in DevOps. DevOps is a later part. If you want to go with the AWS DevOps, first you need to understand the basic certification or basic syllabus. Then you can go with. That's the first step to understand the AWS. Got it? You got the answer?
Yeah.
Sir, please tell me Spring Boot or S3 connecting.
So that's the reason, Sarthak, it is not like I can explain you 1 or 2 minutes. It takes a lot of time. First, you need to understand the storage and then I can explain you. So when we
Okay, sir.
start it, I can then explain you, not immediate today. Today is not possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other folks? Sumna, do you have any questions? I can't hear you clearly. Your voice is not clear. There is so much noise from the back end, and I can't hear you clearly.
I think.
Sorry? Any questions from the
Well, not a question. I know the storage like S3, EBS, NFS, EFS, all things. Means NFS means cloud EFS, right? So can you please make a brief introduction about Spring Boot? I am not recognize the service.
This is not a service. This is Spring Boot is a different. It's not related to the AWS.
So it's related to what subject?
It's a different. It's a development.
Development.
Yeah, like
What? Actually, I lately joined. That's why I'm not listen your totally. Yeah.
okay. So it's a framework which is built on the top of Spring Boot framework that is simplify the development or the Spring applications. So they have different features, auto configurations, and all. That's not related to the AWS.
Sir, should we proceed further or just we can leave?
Yeah, if you have a question, you can ask. If you don't have a question, you can leave. I'm just waiting for the other.
Okay.
So no question from female audience, like in Kalyani, then Monali, Priyanka. No questions from you. There is so much active male participant. I'm expecting some question from you as well. Okay, so that's my LinkedIn, folks. If you want, you can connect it and we can discuss further.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead, please.
sir, how to host static web page?
So that's a part of,
In
yeah. So that is a part of S3. We have a detailed sessions on the solution architecture where you can host your static website like this. So first I need to explain what exactly these options and all. But once I explain, you can also create the static website from here in S3.
okay.
Okay, folks. So thank you. As I guess there is no questions. Okay. In case of any questions, please get back to us. Okay, we have a numbers as well. Right. So in case of any questions, contact, we have a Learnomate team here. You can see the number is already mentioned here. Okay, so please check out the chat. And in case of any issue, please get back to us. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining the sessions. It's just some small informations. We'll also have some more demo that we will share with you on our LinkedIn page or our some other page as well. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining the session. Bye-bye, guys. Good night. Enjoy evening, folks. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you, everyone.